Hey guys, welcome to my new channel. If you don't know me, my name is Tyler. I run Upper Left Adventure Gear. I have this will be my second channel. I have just Upper Left Adventures. That's the channel that I post all of my off-roading, overlanding, camping stuff on. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and ask me about what I do for a living, or if you've bought stuff from me, how my setup is. So I figured I'd make a second channel. I don't want to put a lot of my 3D printing stuff on my other channel, but what I do for a living is 3D printing and making content. So this is my setup as of right now. I just rock 4 printers. I actually have a 5th printer. I ordered a H2S a couple weeks ago. They said it wouldn't be here until the end of January, but I just got shipping information on it last night. It'll actually be here in 3 days, so I've got to make a little bit of space for it. I'm thinking I'm going to put it between my 2 P1Ss up top here. I might move my A1s down to the bottom rack, my P1s down one, and then put a H2S up top. And if the H2S works out, I might order a second one and have 2 up top, 2 P1s in the middle, and then my A1s down below. These 4 printers, I've had the P1Ss. I had my very first one, which is the one on the right. I've had that about 2.5 years now. I bought the one on the left about 6 months after I got the first one, and then I ordered both my A1s right before I moved to this house, so a little over a year ago. They basically all 4 run 24/7. All of them have over 2,000 hours. My original one has just over 4,000 hours. My second P1 just has just over 3,000, and both the A1s have just over 2,000 hours on them. I'd say I go through probably 30 to 40 kilograms a month of PETG, probably 3 to 4 kilograms of carbon fiber PETG, and then probably about 3 kilograms of polycarbonate. Up until about a month ago, I'd go through about 5 or 6 kilograms of TPU on my one machine. What I do will make sense on why I print what I print. But yeah, these printers have been workhorses for the last 2 years. I've not had basically any issues. I had a power switch go out in this P1S. Bamboo wanted like $30, $25 for a whole power plug-in. It was like $4 on Amazon for a 20 pack of the switches. So I put a new switch in that. And then I've had a few issues with this A1 down here. About 2 months ago, I had issues with it printing. I think I've got it dialed in after I've replaced basically everything on the printer. I keep some of my specialty filament down here on the bottom. This is where I keep my carbon fiber, my polycarbonate, my TPU, and then I'm testing out some of Sunlu's high-speed PETG for some of my own projects. Other than that, I usually keep in stock about 10 kilograms of regular PETG. I'm down to 4 right now. This is my other wall here. Everything on the top and half the bottom is colored PLA. I've had all of that over 2 years, so that's how much I don't use PLA. When I'm printing something for my kids is about the only time I ever use PLA. I've got four PETGs left, and then just some half-used polycarbonate, and everything else, TPU and everything else is on the right side there, and any specialty color PETG. I've got some clear and some gray and some white that I've used for projects before. Everything else, so, and some ABS here in the middle, but everything else is all just PLA. Wire cabinet here. This is where I keep all my shipping supplies, boxes, tapes, packing materials. I keep the packages that need to go out on the top shelf there. Up on the top is a box full of reject prints. If they're really bad, I toss them, but if they're just, if you're into 3D printing, you know you can't get everything perfect all the time. So if I have issues with anything, if there's like a separation or like a bad layer line or something, I put them in here. Let's see here. Like this one was, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's got wet filament a little bit, and so it's got kind of just some pimpling on it. The part itself is still super strong, but I don't feel comfortable selling this, even though I have a I have a disclaimer on my Etsy store that, I mean, everything's 3D printed, so there could be some visual defects. I still don't feel right sending this out to somebody that spent money on stuff from me. So what I do is I put them all in this box up top here. what I print is parts for campers, like overland campers, mostly Lone Peak campers, but a lot of my stuff is universal. I host a Lone Peak, P&W Lone Peak get together twice a year, spring and fall. I might do a winter one if the weather permits. We haven't had like any snow at all yet this year in Washington. So that box is full of all my slightly rejected parts. I take those out to the get-togethers and I just set it out for free. So people can go through if they want to. Like I have a bunch of my old cup holders. This is my first design cup holder. I've changed it to this, which is slightly different. So I don't sell this anymore. I still have like 15 of these on the shelf when I switched over. I was going to post these on Etsy for a discounted price, but instead I just put them in the box and I take them out to the get-togethers. And if people want one, they can have one for free. I don't feel bad about the defects because I'm not charging anybody for them. So this box is basically full to the top of cup holders, phone holders, diesel heater mounts, basically everything I sell. So yeah, these things go about 24/7. Every time I try to get my prints timed for them to be finished right before bed so I can start more prints before I go to bed. I run Sunlu filament dryer at the bottom there that the two A1s are going into. And then on top I have a Grat Kit filament dryer on both of these printers. I may pick up another one of the Sunlus and get rid of my two individual ones so I can just have two big ones once H2S is here. But we'll see. I'm trying to dial everything in to get space figured out so I can get that printer here because I thought I was going to have 2 months, but now I have 3 days until it's here. This is where I keep. A lot of people mention how fast I get my orders out. My Etsy store says that I print everything to order and it's 5 to 7 days before it ships. I actually keep like 95% of the stuff that I sell in stock. Here's another good example of, I had an issue with my filament on this one. You guys can kind of see here. There's some filament sticking out, some really bad layer lines, some ghosting. Not really sure what happened to that one. Pretty terrible. So this will actually go into my box of rejects. So if somebody wants to mess with that. About a year ago, I went through everything that I make. At that point, I've added quite a few products since then. My gutters, these are a Lone Peak specific thing. These go on the corner of the campers, so the water doesn't drip down on you. It actually takes the water and diverts it underneath the campers. Diesel heater, quick connects, just basic baskets. These are a lot of universal stuff. Diesel heater hangers, awning hooks, handles, hooks, mounts for Baja Design lights and mounts for Harbor Freight and Ironman lights. This is the only thing that I print. These are the only two things that I print in carbon fiber PETG. A wire cover for the juice box of the Lone Peak and a fuse cover with a light cover for the juice box as well. The only reason I print them in carbon fiber is it obviously has a little bit more of a matte look to it over regular PETG. And this matches the juice box because it's got kind of a matte finish on it. It's the only reason why I do that. And then these are the only things I print out of polycarbonate, which are diesel heater quick connects for the Lone Peak. These will hold the heat of the diesel heater. PETG would just melt. Everything else that's up here is all just regular PETG. I also make a few parts for ePro and GeoPro campers because that's the kind of trailer that I have. So just some like remote holders, some fridge modification parts. I keep one of each of those in stock. I don't sell very many of those because I'm not very active on the forum for GeoPro and ePros anymore. I have a few empty spots because this is where I used to have my filament, but I moved it over here because I got my office all rearranged. And then I just keep, some spare. I use a lot of 3M tape, so I keep 3M tape up there. I use Aquanet hairspray for bed release for PETG. If you have issues on textured PEI plates, Aquanet hairspray is the best thing you can use for a release agent. This is the only thing that I print out of TPU, which is handle covers. And I actually have decided to start making these to order because the new V2 campers from Lone Peak, they have different handles, so you don't need these anymore. These keep them waterproof. These have magnets inset in them. So once I sell out of my stack here, then those will be made to order. Up here, I just put stuff that needs to be processed, just some I have locks. I don't have anything else. I went through and processed everything a couple of days ago. So when they come off the printer, if they need tape, if they need to be cleaned up, those go up there. So this is my workstation here. Just my laptop right now. I actually have my old desktop down there. I need to finish putting it back together, and then I'm going to get a screen mounted in here and get rid of my laptop so I can have completely empty space here. I'll have a pull-out drawer with my keyboard and stuff down there. Up here, I keep everything I need access to most of the time. All my 3M tapes, adhesion promoter, little handheld torch, some glue, some butane for my torch, pens and screwdrivers, all the hardware and heat inserts I use a lot. Up here, I keep my magnets in these little magnet things I found on Maker World. This is where I keep all my Lone Peak specific hardware, 16 and 14 mil stainless bolts, and then Lone Peak's proprietary T-nuts that I order in bulk. Bottle opener stuff, lights for making sure that the mounts are fitting okay. This is stuff that I use for this is stuff I use for my Starlink mini mounts, which I don't sell very many of because of the price. They're so large, I have to print each layer in 4 pieces, and it's 3 layers, so it's 12 pieces total. And by the time I'm done printing, we're looking at like 36 hours of print time. Plus I have to use, I think I counted like 42 heat inserts and 42 bolts. And so the price is astronomical on it, which I understand. I made it as cheap as I could, but I still have to sell them for $350. That's actually the reason why I ordered the H2S is I modified the design slightly, and I can actually print each piece, each layer in one piece. And so that gets rid of not a whole lot of print time, a little bit of print time, because instead of printing 2 pieces at a time and taking, you know, forever to print everything, I can print each layer at a time, and it'll take about 24 hours for all 3 layers, but there'll be basically no post-processing. Removing a couple supports, I'll need to put in like 10 heat inserts instead of almost 40, and then it'll be ready to go. So hopefully I can cut the cost down like over in half. I'm hoping to be sub 200 by the time I'm done, but I need to get the printer here, get everything printed, make sure everything fits correctly, and then I'll show you guys all of that when the time comes. And then down here, I actually made this drawer last week. It's almost 5 feet wide. This is where I keep stuff I don't need all the time. So all my spare parts are in here for the printers. I already ordered some new nozzles for the H2S. So A1 nozzles are up here. P1 nozzles are here. You know, I printed out just a Gridfinity holder for all the A1 tools and stuff. Extra filters, heaters, all my grease, extra extruder gears, power supplies, belts, everything's in there. All hardware stuff I don't use all the time, like for my tables I used to make, that Lone Peak makes now. All the hardware for that stuff, magnets for my Dometic mounts, my soldering station, soldering stuff, extra batteries for whatever, glue guns, all that crap, extra fans for stuff I've been working on. My heat insert press, it's just a soldering iron, but it's nice just to have it. This is a bracket, or this is a mount I made that basically is the negative angle of this, and so when this is in here, these are completely flat on the top, so the heat inserts go in perfectly straight. This is all my storage for shipping. Let me know what you guys want to see on this channel. If you guys want me to go through like how I design stuff, all this stuff was just stuff I made for something that I needed, and then posted in the group, and people said they were interested in it, and so I started making it, and it's taken off, and now I do 3D printing full time. I have my Etsy store. I'm actually working on a Shopify thing right now. Yeah, let me know if you guys are interested in how I design. Maybe I can do a couple videos on me getting into Fusion. I use Fusion for everything, and I'm self-taught, but it's actually fairly easy to learn. So, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.